open. This is so exciting. I say let's just get right into it since I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions. So I don't know whether you guys saw the video that happened backstage, and all of y'all saw. So something that I guess has been rumored now is, according to psychologists, people who enjoy watching Art the Clown are potential psychopaths. Or children. Any insights to this claim? It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
It's so funny. He does such a great job, David, here as Art the Clown. Am I right? So yesterday, being the father of the year that I am, I took my daughters to see Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3. They were like 16 at the time. So yesterday, I took my one daughter to meet Art when he was in full regalia. And he's totally silent. He just does the thing with his hand, a little wave. She was so freaked out by this guy standing there silent. It just shows, it's like you see him in real life in that clown costume. It's fucking freaky, man.
Motherhood proof.
I think that one of the coolest things about, the Terrifier franchise is coming to these conventions, seeing people in cosplay. We have how old are you? 6 years old, dressed as Art the Clown? 10 years old, dressed as Art the Clown? Yeah. He was also he was in character before the panel. He helped get things underway. Well, what is this like for you guys, walking around these conventions, seeing people dressed as people from the Terrifier franchise? It has to be so surreal.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I used to be a cosplayer myself. I used to cosplay Joker a lot at conventions. Stop it. Put a smile on my face. But yeah, I love it though, because I did it because I love the characters so much, and that's why I would, cosplay. That's why so many cosplayers do what they do. So seeing other people cosplaying myself and all these other characters is just so cool to see. It just makes me feel so warm and tingly inside.
I love seeing all the little ones as pale girls. All the little girls, they're so sweet.
I love seeing Vicky, but I also feel terribly for anyone who has to wear the prosthetic or the mask, because I know they can't see and they're suffering deeply, so I respect.
So I wanted to know, what was the funniest or most absurd thing that happened on set in contrast to what we actually saw in the film?
Which film?
Any of them.
Well, I guess probably the craziest one for me was in part 2. Basically, every single film, cops have been involved in some way or the other in something that we're doing. In part 1, I had a whole entire SWAT team show up because these two ladies saw me in the window when they were having an argument outside of New Jersey at 2 o'clock in the morning. So that was fun. But part 3, we had an FBI raid that happened in the building we had been filming in for the bar scene. And we didn't know we were under surveillance the whole entire time. It was oh, great, they've seen a lot. And we were joking around about things because we're using the powder for the snow, called the freeze gun. And oh yeah, it's cocaine. Oh no. You guys have got that on tape now. We're no, it's fake, oh no. But in part 2, is when we were doing the laundromat scene. She wasn't there at that point though, but I was basically entirely naked, covered in blood, and we had done some exterior shots of me walking into the laundromat and I'm covered in blood, and we're filming, and all of a sudden the cop car just comes up. I'm oh no, not again. And I'm just sitting on the chair, just with newspaper over me, and Damien's Dave, you gotta mess with the cops. I'm absolutely not. No, be hilarious. Be on tape, be hilarious. I'm absolutely not. And cop comes out, and it's oh, great. And she comes in, and she's I hear there was a clown covered in blood that came in here, and I'm just leaning forward, hi, it's me. She's can you stand up for a sir? You do not want that. I'm gonna stay right here with this newspaper, and yeah. And she's oh, you must be filming. Yes, ma'am. We are filming a movie. I'm thank you. So yeah. So it's a running gag now with the cops.
I got to put my fingers in Chris's mouth. I think we spoke about that yesterday, which was that a highlight for me? I don't know.
She's so competitive, though. Like she's supposed to rip my jaw off. That's kind of the idea of the kill. She's like, is it okay if I put my fingers in your mouth? I'm like, you pretty much have to.
David was like, so can you put your fingers in Chris's mouth? And I'm like, Chris, are you
in my mouth?
Are you okay with that?
It was crazy though for that scene because what they do now to get the bust of your head is they just do a digital scan, not a mold like they used to use. So I went to LA and I get the digital scan. It literally takes, I don't know, 20 minutes. It doesn't take long. Show up on set and there's this head of Chris Jericho that looks exactly like my head. Like it's the same, it's freaky. The skin is the same, it's got whiskers, the hairline's the same. So we do the scene and she puts her fingers in my mouth. And then the blood's gushing and it's good. And Art comes over and hits me too, just fucked me up bad. And then they go cut, and then in comes the bust of my head. Now I'm 10 feet behind the camera, watching these psychos pull my jaw off. And it's the skin is stretching, but if it doesn't break, cut, the skin's not stretching, it's not supposed to stretch that much. Restructure the jaw. So they put it back on again, and now I gotta watch this. It's like living death, watching myself with my face turn off. I'm like, guys, I'm right here. Haven't you waited?
I feel like I looked at you and you were smiling.
I wanted to ask, a lot of people kind of speculate who Little Pale Girl is. Do you have any insight that you can tell us about her?
So I don't really have much insight. Damien hasn't told me any of the backstory of the Pale Girl, so I know pretty much as you guys do. But I really like hearing all the theories. There's some really good ones.
Jean-Benet Ramsey.
Too soon! What are some of the theories that you heard?
Well, obviously there's the Emily Crane theory about the girl that died in the circus. And then there's the theory that Art is her dad. There's the theory that she's his sister. A lot of different ones. So
I don't know.
we don't know.
We'll find out.
Samantha, I wanted to know, did you see your character as like a victim or a survivor or something in between or something totally new?
Oh, that's a hard question. Victim, survivor, I think anyone who's going through any sort of adversity or trauma or violence that's getting done to them, I see them as survivors who are doing their best to fight back, and it doesn't always mean that they have a happy or uplifting ending. And I feel for Victoria, she did everything that she could to fight for her life. But one thing I really love about playing Victoria is that she represents a very real population percentage of people who go through trauma and violence and who succumb to that trauma and that violence. And so I see her as like a human. I see her as a lot of people who their trauma gets the best of them and they kind of give into a psychosis. And especially in one, we learn that she's outcasted and people are really cruel to her, especially the reporter, and she talks about children. So I see her as a survivor. I see her as especially, but then obviously in 2 and 3 she becomes possessed, and I don't believe Vicky is the villain. I believe the entity of Little Pale Girl is the thing that is in control and is the villain. And it's just using Vicky as a vehicle.
That's another theory right there.
Well, that's not fair. Right? Little Pale Girl is in it, right? Entity is in Vicky. That's But yeah, I always have to tell that to people come to my table. Like, oh, why did Vicky join up with him? He killed his sister and Dawn. And I say, it's not Vicky. Once those eyes light up, and she's completely out of control. And I tell people also that Vicky's in there up until the tub scene when she slits her wrists. That's when Vicky's released from the body. But when the villain is looking, or when she's looking in the mirror, she's taunting Vicky. She's being extremely cruel to her because she's evil.